Okay, as you can see, I am not in my apartment. I'm in a completely different place today. This is the lounge of my apartment complex, and I'm taking advantage of their better lighting. And my apartment is a mess right now because I'm in the middle of packing up my stuff, sorting through things, and making sure that, I'm just ready for whatever my next step in life is. And we'll talk about my next step in life later, but I'll start by explaining where I've been. I haven't really been anywhere in terms of I wasn't just, I didn't disappear. I wasn't, gone anywhere for an extended period of time. What happened is that work got really busy, and then I went to New York in April. I went to Boston at the end of May into June, and I just haven't been able to get back into the rhythm of recording. And I've just had so many things that I needed to do. So I've just been focused on getting those things done instead of focusing on videos. So right now I'm getting back into the swing of videos. I'm just forcing myself to pretty much take the time to record and make sure I'm getting this done. So, pretty much what happened is back in mid April, the manager I had, the COO, she left. She did not renew her contract with us. She was a contractor. So, when she left, there was just like a really big gap in the operations team. So, suddenly I just became the most senior person on my team overnight. And then, shortly after that, like a month and a half later, the executive director announced that she's leaving. So imagine like your COO and your CEO leaving at the exact same time. There's just not a lot that you can do, and there's just a lot of things that were in flux for a very long period of time. So I spent the large part of April, May, and June just kind of like navigating this whole new world at work. Right now, I have a interim COO, so she's my new manager, and then there's an interim ED. I don't know if either of them are going to stay past the 6 to 9 months that they're contracted to be here. So work is just really a source of frustration for me right now. Added on top of that, when we got in the new interim executive team, I pretty much at that point asked to be able to move to a contractor role, so I have the flexibility to do what I want to do in terms of my move. And that was shot down. And they're like, oh, you can move to any state that you want, but you're not able to move to another country and be a contractor. And we also can't approve you moving to like Puerto Rico as an employee because we're not willing to set that up. And I'm like, okay, cool. So now I'm in a space where I do not know when I'm going to be able to move. I just know that I'm still going to move. That's not changing. That's not going to be redirected. I just need to perhaps take a little bit more time to figure some things out, or perhaps I just need to rethink the way I'm going to do it because ultimately that is a priority for me. That is something that I want to do. Sorry, I'm just making sure there's no one here. I don't know if people are listening. I don't know if someone's upstairs. But anyway, so my plans haven't really changed. It's just a matter of like now I need to figure out how I'm going to do it outside of the way I wanted to do it. So that's a whole thing. Gonna think through that, not gonna rush anything. My lease is up in August, and I did give notice that I'm planning to vacate my apartment. So I have to figure out what I'm gonna do in terms of like the next 6 months after that, or I guess the next 4 months after that. Figure out what I'm gonna do and then just go from there. Also, why I haven't been recording is just like besides being busy with work and trying to do a few other things, I was traveling, and traveling is very disruptive to your schedule. Like in theory, it shouldn't be so disruptive, especially if you plan for it, but it is like super disruptive because I went to New York for like 4 or 5 days, I think 4 days for my cousin's wedding. So excited for her. Congrats, Marissa and Zachary. So like that was super fun. That was super exciting. Like I kind of fell back in love with New York on that trip because the last time I was in New York was 2024, and like, I don't know what it was, but I just wasn't feeling New York at that time. And I think what occurred then is I was mostly in Manhattan. And like, I don't really like Manhattan as much as I do like Brooklyn. This trip, however, I was in Queens. I'm never in Queens. I don't go to Queens. I have no reason to be in Queens. Like, that's not my girl. But Queens was my girl this last time. I was like, you know what? We are building, we are expanding, we still got the culture. Like, I loved this time, and I spent most of it in Queens. So, like, I don't know, I fell back in love with New York to the point where one of my friends, Arthi, she was like, you should move to New York and you should come back. And I was like, I should, but I can't. For me, New York is just so expensive. Like, it is unreasonable, in my opinion, to be that expensive. So I just don't see myself moving back to New York at all. But, you know, never say never because I never say never. And maybe there's a time in the future I'll move back. Like, there's definitely parts of Queens, like maybe I could afford to live there in the way I want without costing too much. But I don't know. I was also staying in Long Island City. Long Island City is like very different. It's like fake bougie. I'm not saying fake bougie, but like they're not what they used to be. It's very different. So for me, I was like, it's not gonna be Long Island City. I know that much. And I'm a Brooklyn girl. Like, I've always been a Brooklyn girl, so it's like a little bit hard for me to think about moving to Queens. Whatever. That's neither here nor there because that's not in the plans right now. And a month later, I went to Boston. Went to Boston for my mom's birthday. Um, I also went to Boston just to bring some stuff there because there's like a few things that I need to keep there, especially if I don't plan on taking them with me. I need to have them somewhere safe. So I went to Boston, had a great time. Like, honestly, again, just kind of fell back in love with the city I grew up in. Um, Went to all the places that I used to go, like at least in like Jamaica Plain where I grew up. So I went back to all these places and I was just having a great time. So yeah, I was just having a great time hanging out in the neighborhood that I grew up in. Like, just it felt so nostalgic. Usually when I go back to Boston, it doesn't feel that nostalgic. And perhaps what it is because I usually go back in the winter and it's cold and I'm inside, so I'm not really out like that. But when I was there, it was warm. It was cold. Actually, it was every season. When I went to Boston, it was at one point like 35, 35, 40 degrees. And on the other end of that, it was like 85 degrees by the time I left. So, like, Boston gave me every single season in that one week, truly. So surprised my mom. I'll probably add some clips of New York and Boston in another video, so I could just put that together. But I surprised my mom. We went to the Cheesecake Factory. She likes the Cheesecake Factory, so like took her there with one of my brothers, and then my other brother and his family, they came in from Tennessee to see her, to surprise her. So she was surprised by that. After we did a surprise lunch, I guess, for my mom, she had a great time. She enjoyed it. What was supposed to happen is we were supposed to go to Martha's Vineyard the next day. Like, I planned this trip to Martha's Vineyard, got my brother to go too. My mom was supposed to go. The day we were supposed to go, she ended up not feeling well. I was like, I can't cancel this. I've already spent a lot of money. I can't get back. Won't even talk about how much money I spent on that hotel. It was a lot. It was a lot. So went to Martha's Vineyard. It was me, my brother, and his family. So we just hung out mostly. So we just kind of chilled the first day. Then the second day, we went around the island. Long story short, I love Martha's Vineyard. I am now sold. I get it. I understand the reason people like it. I get why people return. It is so cute. It is way less like pretentious than I think a lot of times it's marketed as. It's actually pretty chill. Everyone's really nice. Like, people say hi to you when they see you. People just enjoying their time. Like, the cottages are super cute. Just being by the water. Like, I'm a water girly. So just being by the water was lovely. Just having that opportunity to just go somewhere else in Massachusetts that I've never been, because I've never even been to the Cape. So I've never been to Nantucket, never been to Martha's Vineyard, never been to Cape Cod. So like just having that opportunity to go be by the water and like really have that like beachy feel. I would say the beachy feel is just the the aesthetic of it all, because it was cold the first day we got there, and I knew it would be pretty chill, but like it was breezy. It was a little brisk. So the first day was pretty breezy. The second day it warmed up quite a bit, so like it was actually nice to be around and go around the island that day. And then the day we left, it was actually really, really quite warm. So like I saw a few people at the beach. I don't think anyone got in, but it was just really nice. And it's somewhere like I would love to return and go back to, like, every year, like every couple of years. However, the price of Martha's Vineyard, okay? Listen to me when I say this. Like, that is somewhere you have to prepare to spend like $20, $30 on just a regular meal. I'm not talking anything like fancy. I'm literally just talking maybe a sandwich is like $15 and the drink is 5. Like it's just a basic thing is $20 to $30. Groceries hella expensive. I'm actually surprised they have a Stop and Shop. I think that's new low key, but I would say again, I love it. I feel like if you spend like a summer there, just get your groceries, your provisions on the main island and just have a good time. Like, it's the kind of place where you just feel like really relaxed and really chill. I definitely would love to go again. Will I go again and bring my mom? I don't know because I wasn't really that annoyed that she couldn't make it. I feel like I should have pushed her to come, and I wouldn't say I have that regret, but I probably should have pushed her to just go even if she wasn't feeling well. But I'm not planning that again. I'm just not. I spent too much money and time and energy to kind of do it again. Maybe next time I'll just do something different. Like, I've always wanted to take her on like a little whale watching cruise, or go up to Nova Scotia or something. She always wanted to go to Alaska, so I'll think about it. I don't know. Like, the one thing with traveling with your parents, especially when they're older, is that you just don't know if they're going to be up to it, and you kind of have to roll that dice. But I do love doing nice stuff for my mom, and I do like seeing her explore the world. There are times you have to like remember, hey, like this is your parents' first time living too. Like, especially my family. Like, my family is from a tiny island in the Caribbean. They don't know like nothing about nothing besides like England and America, like US of A, England. Like, they don't really think about a lot of other places and going there and exploring there because it's just so far outside of like what they naturally know and what they've heard about and explored. So like I would love to, like I want to go to Uzbekistan. My mom probably is like, "Oh my god, you're gonna get killed." That's probably how she's gonna react when I finally do go. But like, long story short, I do love doing stuff like that for my mom because it's just interesting to have your family, your parents see things that you know, recognize they would never do without you. My mom would never do any of this stuff without me, like at all. And, I wish when my dad was alive, I did do stuff like this for him. Like, I've taken my mom to the UK, and we went to France. So, like, we've traveled before. But my dad and we've never really gone anywhere. We've been to Canada, like, on a trip to Montreal, but we've never really like gone anywhere as a family. Like, family vacations were not a thing that we did when we were younger, which is why I love to see that my brother, and his family, they travel so much. Like, that's what I want to do when I have kids. Whatever, I'm going off on a tangent, on a rant, all that stuff right now. But saying all that to say is like these are the kind of things that remind you that you need to just go ahead and live your life and do the stuff that you've wanted to do, because I don't want to wait until like I'm retired on my parents' age, on my aunt's age, to try to go travel and do all this stuff, because you're not going to be up for it then. Like, there are things I've done now traveling where I'm like, these knees, these knees are barely getting through it, like barely, barely getting through it. So I don't want to wait until like I'm older and there's more obstacles in the way. I am very thankful a lot of times that I don't have a family that I have to go take care of. I don't have, kids that have to make sure that they're prioritized. Even a lot of ways, like not having a husband or a boyfriend helps me to just do whatever I want without having to worry about how that's going to affect someone else. And it's not selfish, in my opinion, because ultimately this is your life. You only get one, you should enjoy it. My thing is, when I'm older and I have those things, that my plan is to have that. Like, maybe I don't ever get married. I do still plan to have at least one child. I would adopt. I don't want to have a baby by myself. That's too much. But I'm gonna drag my kid around the world. Listen, that kid gonna go everywhere. Like, I don't want to have a life that I've enjoyed so much and not share it with the people I care about. Like, that's not the case. I just feel like ultimately my family should be an extension of that fun and not a hindrance to that fun. So that's how I look at it. So I'm gonna start posting videos more regularly again now that I'm kind of just like past a lot of stuff that I've been dealing with. Mentally, I just had to like accept that everything around me is going to do what it's going to do. I can't be worried about it. Like, I really can't be worried about my job the way I was for the last few months. It's not beneficial to me. I'm truly not really getting anything out of that stress. So there's no point in doing that. And ultimately, I don't necessarily know what my next step is going to be, but I know I probably need to do some stuff that I wouldn't normally do and get out of my own way to kind of get what I want, because 2026 she's a long year. We're halfway through 2026 and I feel like I've already lived a whole year this year. And I'm like, I literally had this realization the other day. I'm like, damn, it's only July. Like, we still have half the year left. It's only July. There's so much more left. So I'm just accepting that, what I need to do for myself is what I need to do for myself. Like, I have a lot to lose. Like, I know a lot of people can say like I have nothing to lose, and I've even said it myself. Like, I have nothing to lose, like in terms of I don't have a family that I have to take care of. I don't have to make sure anyone's okay before I make sure I'm okay. But I do have, financial situations that I need to be mindful of when I make decisions. I do have obligations and responsibilities that I have to be mindful of. I have to be able to make sure those things are taken care of too. It's not like, I have nothing. I can just run off into the sunset and go live in a yurt. I do think about this sometimes, not gonna lie. I often think about living in a yurt and just going off into the sunset, but I can't. And, I've even gotten so bold as to say, like, I should just sell my house. I did think about it for the last year, whether or not I might sell my house, because long story short, if I want to avoid capital gains, I need to sell my house like right now and move back in. But I've kind of talked myself off that ledge. Unfortunately and fortunately, I have a really great mortgage. Like, how much I spend for my mortgage and my interest rate is better than anything you can get right now, and probably better than anything you can get in the future. So, like, from a responsible standpoint, selling my house is not great, but from a purely financial standpoint, I would like the money. But I have to just be patient and move forward. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.